Okay, folks, this is like take number 5. I'm having a hard time. Got a little rusty doing this, taking off a week or two, but anyhow, I do appreciate you guys stopping by and just spending a few minutes with me. I don't have a cameraman. I don't have anybody editing. That's just me and a stinky old catch pen, just trying to tell you a story that might bring you closer to the Lord. That's all I'm here for. I'm not looking for anything but that. And we still have not had any rain to speak of. We've had a few drizzles, but absolutely nothing to add water to the ponds. But a lot of people are hoping for next week. Next weekend, there's a big promise of rain, but they always seem to take that back about 3 days before. So I don't know. I want to plant my ryegrass, but I don't know if I want to spend all that money, okay? But anyhow, enough of those problems. I know you've got a lot of problems of your own, okay? But last weekend, I had the opportunity to perform a wedding for a young couple, and they were both former students of mine. And, all the time you're teaching them, I don't know, you just get that feeling they hate your guts. I don't know. All students are like that, especially during test day or something. But anyway, for them to ask me to do their wedding was a privilege. And it was an affirmation that maybe I got through to them. And so it was a great time. They only had the immediate family and some close friends at the ceremony. And then, of course, we had the gathering afterwards. But I knew that this young couple has something unique. Now, Cole, of course, Cole Curry, and he's a team roper, okay? And actually, guys, if you check it out, he and his partner, Marcus, they're like number 13 or 14 in the nation. And they're going to Las Vegas, which means they made the finals, which is a big, big deal, if you know what I mean. Anybody that follows roping would say that's a huge thing to be able to go to Las Vegas. So with that, I wanted to make their ceremony unique for them. All right, unique for them. So we got over the who gives the bride and all that formality. And then I said, I want to use team roping as an example of marriage. And it's a really good one if you think about it, all right? And I had some things to say, and I had a lot of liberty at this. But first of all, we're going to say team roping is like marriage, and it is. The only difference between being a contender in team roping and just being a novice that does it every other weekend or every so often, here's what's the difference. Talent, hard work, dedication, commitment, and a good horse, right? Those of you that do some roping will nod your head saying the horse is a big part of that. But it's the same for marriage, minus the horse, okay? It takes hard work, dedication, commitment, communication, and all those things to make a marriage work. Wouldn't you say? Now, my wife and I, that night, October 14th, that day, my wife and I celebrated our 40th anniversary. So I felt like I had a little bit of experience I could share with them, all right? But I told them, I said, marriage is going to take practice, practice, practice. Just like team roping takes practice, practice, practice. There's no telling how many hours Cole and Marcus have practiced. Getting to know each other, getting to know being able to read each other, being able to know what the next one's what they're gonna do. It's the same thing in marriage. You have to spend time, practice, practice, practice. There's a term used for a team, a roping team that's doing well, and the term is they're in rhythm with each other. That's good, isn't it? Think about it. A good marriage, a marriage that's doing well, the man and the woman are in rhythm with each other. I thought that was really, really good. And let me explain. First of all, I believe that with a good marriage, and maybe some older fellers and guys and gals are listening to this, and if you're younger, pay attention. If you're about to get married, I'll send you my notes, okay? But first of all, speak encouraging words to each other. Speak encouraging words to each other. No team roping group sits there and puts each other down. They don't do it. They're encouraging, okay? Number 2, defend each other. When you're in a crowd and somebody puts down on your spouse or talks bad about your spouse, defend your spouse, all right? Defend them. Guard your time. I told this young couple that's an important thing, to guard your time as a young couple. That means from family, from friends, from all the distractions in this world, guard your time. All right? And always compliment each other. Man, I love it when my wife compliments me. Man, she'll tell me I did something right, or I'm you know, I'm the man of the day. Man, it makes me just swell up with pride. So speak encouraging words to each other. Now, there was another thing I told them. I said, listen to this. I told the young couple, I said, you better check each other's tack. All right? You better check each other's tack. And then what that means is pay attention to the other person. And if you see something that's wrong or something that's out of place, question it. All right? Can you imagine? Can you imagine that Marcus and Cole are ready to? They might be the fourth one's ready to get into the box and do their thing, and all of a sudden Marcus looks over and Cole's cinch is frayed, and he says, "Cole, your cinch is about to break." Now Cole can say, "Mind your own business," or "Man, I didn't see that." See what I'm saying? They could lose it all on a simple thing as a frayed cinch, or maybe a rotted latigo. I don't know. But it's the smallest things that cause the biggest problems, right? The smallest things cause the biggest problems. Now, I'm going to take just a little bit of time and explain and share with you a story. Many years ago, in the Astrodome, that tells you how many years ago, there was a man who was roping that night. I was there at the rodeo. His name was Roy Cooper. Some of y'all may remember that name, but he was the best of the best at that time. And in the Astrodome, man, it was all whipped up. It was all talked up, and Roy Cooper was going to rope. And all he had to do, listen to me, guys, all he had to do was rope the calf and tie it. He was going to win. His times had beat everybody. So all he had to do is make a clean run. Rope and tie the calf. And it was quiet. The calf was let out, and Roy was after the calf, and he roped him, got a good loop on him, and the horse backed up, and about the time the calf reached the end of the rope and the horse was backing up, that rope snapped. You could hear it across the Astrodome. He lost everything. He lost it all over a frayed rope. Sometimes marriages are lost over the smallest things because we let them grow into big things. So always check your partner's tack, okay? That means bitterness and strife. If there's bitterness and strife going on, if there's some miscommunication, deal with it. Deal with it soon. Do it quickly. The Bible says, don't let the sun go down on your anger. Don't let the sun go down on your anger. Don't let the enemy have a foothold in your marriage. Last thing, I know I'm taking more time than I ever take. I guess I'm making up for the other times I wasn't here, but a header and a heeler, they have a common goal, don't they? You know, the common goal is when that steer's out, the common goal is to rope it in the shortest amount of time and to win the purse. That's the goal. They have a common goal. You can't see Marcus going in there and saying, well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to head it, but I don't give a rip if you heel it. That's not going to work, is it? And Cole could say the same thing. You head that, if you can head it, I don't know, you're bad today. If they don't have a common goal, things are not going to work well. Same thing with a young couple. Same thing with an old couple. Have a common goal. Okay? Know what you expect from each other. Not one is more important than the other. Both are required to win the prize. And I left them with this. Your relationship with Christ should be your common goal as a couple. Relationship with Christ, okay? Be careful of busyness and the drive for possessions. They cause us to stray from the goal. You can read the sower and the seed. It talks about when the seed is sown into the briars in the thickets, and how the briars and thickets take over and the seed struggles. And it says the briars and thickets represent worries and concerns and riches, okay? And the last thing is spend time with each other in the Word. Spend time with each other in the Word. I hope this has been good for you. I was kind of at a blank, and then my wife said, why don't you do what you talked about at the wedding? It really went well. I realize I've gone way over my normal time, but I don't apologize. I want to share this with you, and hopefully, folks, you can pass this on to a young couple. And I mean it. If you need my notes for this wedding, you let me know. I'll email them to you, okay? But you guys take care, all right? And I hope to see you next Thursday.